Time for the Juggler, the second card of the Book of Thoth. Its number is 1 because we started with the fall of 0, and the letter associated with it is Beth or Bait. The word Bait means a house. In Hebrew, a house can mean a temple as well. So this is a temple or a house, and it's the magician. Now, he calls himself, he's called the Magus on this card. But when we go to the text in the Book of Thoth, he's the juggler. And you can actually see in this card that he is kind of juggling things as well. Okay, you can see various symbols around him where he is. So he says the ideas connected with this symbol are so complex and multifarious that it seems better to attach to this general description certain documents which bear upon different aspects of this card. It's not going to be easy doing this one. So if the fool was silence, the Magus is the Word, and in the beginning the Word, and the Word was God, from John chapter 1, verse 1. The fool goes from Keto crown to Hukmah, the twos. The Magus, by contrast, goes from Keter crown to Bina, the third Sephirah. Okay, so it's a different kettle of fish that's going on here. Now I talked about the Fool card as sexes in there, and look at, would you believe it? He talks in here about the lingam and the yoni for the Mercury card. Now the reason is that in the supernal triangle you have the things called the parts of him, or the peoples, and they're, or personifications. Parts of him means parts of is a person. The suffix "im" means many, so these are many people. There's a load of people up there, and it's a bit like the whole thing about the Greek gods. When you actually go and find them, they're up there all drunk, having an orgy. That's kind of what's going on. So with Mercury, it's a communication, kind of communication as well. So it does get complicated with this card of Mercury in there as well. With the Fool, we went with the aces down to the 2, and the aces have no value or qualities of the elements until they hit the 2s. Okay, but with Mercury, where it hits Bina, he actually includes the elements, and he does it from quoting from a verse, Liber Magi. Okay, and he says, with a wand createth he, with a cup preserveth he, with a dagger destroyeth he, with a coin redeemeth he. So there's the 4 elements that are appearing in this card. So he's calling it the juggler, even though it's the Magus on the actual card itself. He also takes this card into the area of calling this card the characteristic of Tahuti or Thoth, and of course this is the Book of Thoth. So the idea of Mercury is what you have with the planets. None of the planets have a quality of the element in them at all. Okay, they have no elemental qualities, but what they do is rule zodiac signs of opposing elements. So Mercury rules Virgo and Gemini. Virgo is Earth, Gemini is air. So it rules those opposing elements. And you find that working all the way through the planets of the 7 planets. The Sun and Moon jointly rule Cancer. Okay, so that's where it slightly breaks down. So the Sun and Moon are actually a syzygy. They're kind of a pairing of the whole sort of thing, which is why you have the Caduceus or the Caduceus, this symbol of the trident with the stakes going around it, which you have within this card as well. So what does it say for the mnemonics of Mercury? It says, the word of wisdom weaves the web of lies, weds irreducible infinitize. now. So this is the word. It had silence before with the fall, and wisdom, of course. So the word of wisdom, this is the weird thing, because we're at Bina, understanding. Wisdom is Hokmah too. So he's kind of taking it back a little bit. Weave the web of lies. The thing is that above the supernal trialing, the absolute, everything is reversed. It's not what it seems. There's a polarity reversal going on as well. So if we're down here looking up, what we see going in there is a lie. And of course you have Crowley's Book of Lies as well. And the reason it's a lie is because when you have a thought, it's a manifestation, therefore it's no longer true, even though it's an expression of truth. So truth sounds wonderful as truth, but it isn't, because it's a lie, because it's manifest. It's no longer in the unmanifested truth. To say the truth is the manifest, so it's a lie. Gets a bit kind of complicated. So irreducible infinities. In mathematical equations, you can only have 1 0. You know, if you have infinities everywhere, it screws up the whole system and makes everything a mess, which is a big problem in quantum mechanics, of course, when they get multiple infinities going on. So sometimes, you know, now we'll turn to the verse about Mercury and the Magus card. And he says, the true self is the meaning of the true will. Know thyself through thy way. Calculate well the formula of thy way. Create freely, absorb joyously, divide intently, consolidate completely. Work thou, omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent, in and for eternity. This is another way. You have to see the Fool and the Magus card as expressing opposite views of the same thing, because no one can be in the same space as everyone else. We all see a different view by definition of the universe, and this is what he's giving, a different way of looking at things. So he's going back. So when he talks about omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent, O, 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 we're back to 0. And of course the letter O, or Ein in Hebrew, is once again representing 0 or nothing. Okay, so we have 3 nothings, Ein Sof, Ein Sof, Ein Sof 4 as well. So he's kind of looking up in and for eternity. You know, on the second line, create freely, absorb joyously, divide intently, consolidate completely. They're actually poetic ways of saying add, subtract, multiply and divide. So there's a mathematical kind of construct of the universe. You know, the whole universe can be described mathematically, which is what we say when we talk about quantum mechanics or space-time geometry and this whole kind of idea of the multiple universes that we live in. It all comes from mathematics. Which is why he says, calculate well the formula of thy way. Formula of thy way. Thy way. It's interesting because he doesn't say thelema here. He says true will. Know thyself through thy way. The true self is the meaning of the true will. He's identifying this kind of beingness thing with what you want to do in life as well, and how many of us know who we are and what we want to do. So to get your head around this, you've got to be smart at stuff. You've got to be skilled at mathematics, and most of us, of course, are. You know, mathematics is a bit of a foreign thing. We kind of stopped at where we left school. So there is about the idea of Mercury is also the thief as well. It's transactions, it's communications. So for the qualities or the divinatory meanings, if you like, of the Mercury card, he says skill, wisdom, adroitness, elasticity, craft, cunning, deceit, theft. Sometimes occult wisdom or power. Sometimes a quick impulse, a brainwave. It may imply messages, business transactions, the interference of learning or intelligence with the matter in hand. The interference of learning or intelligence with the matter at hand. You're thinking too much. Hopefully I haven't given you a headache trying to sort of express the things about this card. But it's so much more when you understand where Mercury is placed on the Tree of Life as a Fool. These two men. Okay. We've done male energy so far. Going from the Fool to wisdom and Mercury to understanding. You might think it should be the other way around. So, the next card is going to be the High Priestess.